Welcome back, everybody, to Devil's Advocate with Rosebud Baker. Thank you so much for tuning in this week and every week. That's my fiance in the background. If you're watching this on YouTube, Andy, say hi.
Hi.
We are. Let me just make the fucking announcements. So you guys, first of all, thank you for tuning in every week. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is a rough start. Thank you for leaving a review, rating this podcast on iTunes. If you haven't already, please go to iTunes, leave a review. I love you for it. It helps the podcast. It helps get it charting. It helps other people find out about it. Blah, blah, blah. You hear me do this every fucking week. This podcast is also available on YouTube if you want to watch it that way. It's on my YouTube channel at Rosebud Baker. And on Instagram, you can follow us at devilsadvocatepod.atc. What else? Oh, at the end of the podcast, we do a segment called Bad Advice, where I offer you guys, you guessed it, terrible advice. Because listen, my best thinking hasn't gotten me to the best places. So I don't feel like I'm qualified to give good advice, but I can give shitty advice pretty well. And without further ado, I'm so excited to introduce my guest. He is my friend. He is my cohort, whatever that fucking means. And you've seen him on Comedy Central. You've listened to his writing on The Rundown with Robin Thede. You have seen his writing on The Fix with Jimmy Carr. I think I'm getting these. And you've also read his writing and seen it on National Lampoon. You guys, I'm so excited to welcome Alex English. Alex, what's up?
And they say, you know what they say, your real friends know your credits. Your real friends know your credits. That was
pretty good.
Bravo,
Yeah,
friend.
I did pretty good. God damn. How's it going?
It's going, friend. I feel good. I just had the best salad. I just made the best summer salad for myself.
You know, it's the simple things during this time. It really is.
I got a big ass bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and I filled it with some like a spring mix.
Uh-huh.
The kale,
was that arugula?
The spinach, all the good leaves. Threw those in there, washed it down, salt and peppered it a little bit.
Oh my God,
nice
I love
seasoned,
salt and pepper on a salad.
Nice and seasoned. That's a trick that a lot of people that they forget that part. They think you just throw the leaves in there and just toss shit together. It's not. You gotta. No. This is how you get a salad with class. A bougie salad.
Oh yeah.
So I really bougiefied my salad. I got that, and then I put some what I do. I fried up some bacon, and I chopped up the bacon that I fried. I threw it in there. Then I got the feta cheese. I soaked my chopped red onions in cold water for about 15-20 minutes, so that what ended up happening is that I don't have the onion breath, because when you soak the onions, it kind of gets rid of that powerful kick that the onions give. It doesn't overpower the flavor of the entire salad. So we put the chopped onions in there.
Wow. Hold on a second. Okay. Look at what happens to a New Yorker when they're stuck in their apartment for 4 months.
When I'm left to my devices, it turns into top shelf up in this bitch.
Yeah. This is crazy.
so then on top of all of that we have at this point, then I go ahead and slice and dice some strawberries in that motherfucker. Then we toss like a little handful of cut up strawberries in that bitch. Then lastly, but certainly not least, finish it off with a little strawberry vinaigrette dressing. Not even a lot. You just douse it a little bit and like a little, give it a couple pours, tiny pours, and you mix that bitch up with the two little salad things. You spin it around, you do other things. Big ass bowl. Eat it from the mixing bowl. Also, Don't put it in I have a large mixing bowl, like a large glass mixing bowl. I just took a fork, sat back, killed it, and within 20 minutes of us because I didn't want to be, of course, on here eating. So I finished it, had my little white wine on the side, and I feel I feel free. This is the
Fuck.
freest I've ever felt. I feel very free. I
You
feel like
are
a
having a good
free.
and you
I feel
did
like
it
a
on a day
newly.
and you did it on a day when there was like a giant thunderstorm
Yeah,
outside with lightning and like
yeah.
God, you're really living a fucking classy life over there. I feel like a
I
piece of shit.
No, don't, friend. I'm here. I'm here. You got your. Listen. I love when we go video cam, when we go Zoom and meeting and
Mhm.
FaceTime. I love when we do this because I get to see your waiting room paintings on the wall on the bill.
That's right.
That the one on the left, this one right here. That's
This
definitely
one.
giving. Yeah, that's definitely giving like doctor's appointment waiting room.
I know. Well, that's an Andy
Is that an
exclusive.
that's an Andy fixture? That's an Andy fixture into the household.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's part
And
of the joy of
I can see you
sharing
are
your space.
thrilled about it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think it's actually a rock in front of a sunset. That's what it
Okay.
is. It's a man.
From here it looks like a slave ship, but we're okay with that.
It
You
kind of
cannot
does
erase
look like that.
history.
It
Art
kind of
cannot
does look
erase
like that.
history.
This is the thing is I think this is why he brought me to Europe too. When we started dating, he was like, I'm just going to slowly get in there, take her back to the motherland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I don't mind it. It's like, it's got
Mhm.
this little like moon. It looks like, it's kind of like I don't fucking know
Did,
what it is, but it doesn't
all
bother
that
me. So
matters is did Charlie bark at it when it was hung up?
no.
So it stays. Or it
Hmm.
goes, or lack of, or you know what? I won't speak for
No,
Charlie
Charlie has
because
impeccable taste. He's a
I was
gay
about to
man
say
and he,
lack. Right, that's true. We have now accepted Charlie for whom he is. Barking also could mean shade. It could be like I'm not really feeling it, so I'm just not going to speak on it. So you really
absolutely.
consider
Absolutely.
Charlie. Yeah, a lot. Silence is the best shade.
Yeah, he does go, when I'm saying goodbye and he's upset that I'm leaving, he just sort of just looks at me like, okay, just raises his eyebrows, but puts his head down. And he's
It's
like,
the same look.
okay.
It's the same look he gives Mouse when you bring Mouse to public settings.
Yes. Yes.
same
It's like, I'll
same level
tolerate
of
this, but
shade.
you don't, you're nothing to me.
It's like, girl,
Um,
yeah.
So it's so funny because I was like, this morning, I was like, I don't fucking want to do this. Like, I'll be honest. I know people are listening to this. I didn't want a fucking podcast today. I didn't feel like it. The only reason I even do this is so that I can avoid having a real job
Yeah.
because this isn't a real job. And I still don't want to fucking do it. It's like,
I don't know, man. I feel like it is. Look, I feel like we, and I say we as like a blanketed, like people who want to aspire to shit,
mhm.
a job, we're delivering, people tune into you, people love you, people praise you, people want to see your work, it speaks to them, and you put effort out of your time. I mean, the best currency outside of money is time. You devote your time to
Alex,
giving
what the
people that
fuck are you
support
talking
you.
about?
You
This
give your
isn't.
you hold on. You use your time to give people that enjoy you an opportunity to be entertained, to get away from this shit. When they don't feel like watching TV, they come to you. Or when they're not
Yeah,
watching, when
yeah,
they're
yeah.
in this in between time. So you're giving. This is a job. It's a job to entertain people. It's a job to entertain people and to occupy people's
But
like
it's
space.
also
You
not.
know?
It's also not because let's
Okay.
be honest. If we were, listen, writing jobs, that's a real job. Like going in, sitting in a writer's room, coming up with ideas, plugging away.
It.
But
I
like
would say it has the
this,
same. It has the same psychological effects as every 9 to 5 job. Yes, true.
exactly. That's what I'm talking about. When I say a real job,
This.
I mean you go home and you're like, should I just jump? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, a writing job is a little better than that because you're like, all right, I'm staying sharp. I'm kind of like, I'm working with others. I'm like actually collaborating and I'm doing something and I'm making something that I like most, hopefully.
Would you
But
say that the best work though is the best job is when it doesn't feel like work? Does this feel like work to you?
Today it does, but not because of
Okay.
you.
No,
Because
no, no. I know in general, because you said originally you were like, oh, I don't really, yeah, we all have days at work
yeah,
when we don't want to go to work. But
right.
overall, my point is like, if it doesn't feel like work to you, then it's a real job. People, I feel
Yeah.
like,
That's a good point.
but
It's
but
like,
here's the thing, our dynamic. Remember, I'll never forget a picture you posted with me at the creek years ago when you were like, I caught, listen to the listeners, I caught Rosebud one like random day at the creek in the
shit.
cave in Long Island City. God bless Rebecca Trent. I was walking downstairs. I didn't even have any plans to see Rosebud. I don't think we just happened to see each other. And I saw her down there, and Rosebud's literally just like, if you're watching the video, she's just like slumping like this, just like slumping, like literally turtling into her jacket or like her scarf, writing on her phone. It's literally like the downstairs open mic room to the creek in the cave, and she's like the only one in there. So I like walk in, because like at this point in the game, I'm like, oh, I know Rosebud. I see her all the time. This is somebody I can like barge in on when she's clearly having a moment to herself. I walk in. Rosebud's, oh, here's Alex. But she's like, I don't even remember your exact words, but you were like, Alex, everything is terrible. Everything is awful. And I don't even remember what I said either, which tells, you know what I mean, how far long ago this was.
But you probably didn't even say hi.
I just barged in and flopped next to you and was like, yeah, but it could be worse. Look at where we are. Look at, like, our demeanor has literally been your outlook of like, this is grim and gross and we're all disgusting for chasing this profession. What the fuck are we all doing? We should all be fucking sold into labor, into forced labor. And I'm sitting there with my positivity and like, yeah, but it didn't rain today, Rosebud, and we're all here just having a good time. Isn't it good to see each other? Isn't it nice to be here? And
I know.
You took a picture with me, and then you took a selfie, you posted it, and you were like, I was feeling like shit for hours, basically all day, and then here comes this fucking thunderstorm of positivity coming in and making it all better. And I was like, yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. It's so funny because I think when I'm left to my own devices, and sorry to pull a mare in here and just talk about myself on my podcast with a guest.
Do it.
But I think I start to go into, it's just like not a great place. And I think it's like the quarantine, I'm generally not a negative person. Like I actually, even though I do tend to have like a grim outlook, I don't think of it, and maybe I sound like every negative person right now, but I don't think of it as like a negative outlook. Like I don't think everything's going to be awful. I don't think that everything's going to turn out for the worst or anything like that. It's just like, if I'm in a shit mood, I'm not going to pretend not to be. That's exactly really what it is.
It's like when I saw you the other day and you were like, we were out together, and Rosebud basically was like, why did I leave the house? I should have stayed home. Because who I am right now and how I've been feeling today isn't going to be well with, it's going to we were at everybody.
We went to the show at Legendary. It was at the Queen's Brewery, and I posted about that show.
You walked up and you were like, I've been in a shit mood all day. I should have been more responsible and stayed home. Yeah. Which our conversations have always been like that. And I think, I think the best people are the ones who, even when they're not having a bad day, can turn it, okay, let me just turn it off my mood and leave it at home, whatever. I try to do that also. But there are times when you literally, your judgment is off and you're like, you know what, I'm going to leave the house regardless. You think that it's going to get better, but it doesn't. But
sometimes you'll go out because it's like, it's better for you to go out and to like see people.
You may not want to admit that it made you feel better, but it did.
Well, awesome. I'll always admit when it works. Like sometimes I love a solution. Yeah. I love a solution. Yes. Yeah, but solutions are great. I don't. But sometimes I'll go out and I'm like, oh damn, this wasn't gonna get fixed. I should have just stuck at home because like
it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like a 68-year-old man trapped in a 30-something-year-old woman's body. So
Yo,
it's
you know what I realized though after the other day? I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I realized
no,
something.
it's great.
I realized something the other day on
What?
when we hung out on Saturday, and I walked away like for Dorsey's birthday, and
Yeah.
I noticed I was like, yo, the best friends, like the best people, are how you know you have a friend is like y'all don't have to over converse
Yes.
when you see each other, because we were together Saturday and we didn't talk a lot. Like we saw when we were like by each other in the group as we were trying to like distance, like kind of move.
Right.
I was like trying to move around so that I wasn't in one spot and kind of get to everybody and have moments with everybody. But when there are either times when we see each other when we're together, it's like, oh yeah, we're chatting it up, we're talking shit, we're having fun, and but it's just as good when we don't have that same energy. You know,
when we're
a true friend is when you kind of just sit with somebody, and not we could be doing this podcast right now, and I still be having a good time if we weren't saying shit, Rosebud.
Yeah, for real. That's honestly, that's why I picked you as a guest today. Because I was like, if I get Alex, I don't have to bullshit and I can just fucking be myself.
Because you know me, as positive as I try to be and kind of flip the sadness eventually with a little fun, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I have my dark ways too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's why I trust your happiness.
Rosebud
like,
and I, what everyone should know is that you and I are definitely is this funny buddy. That's what I call it. Is this funny buddy? Because we have a book soon to be could be made out of the shit that we've tried out.
Yeah.
On one another.
Dude, if our texts ever got released, holy shit. I mean, the amount of jokes that I've thrown at you that like, and jokes that I know are like sensitive, that are like, you know, because it's like, you're a gay black man. So if I run this joke off you, but you're a comic first and you
also,
always go, true. But I'm like, you always go, if it doesn't work, you just don't text back. But if there's like something,
have I not texted back to some jokes?
Yeah,
I feel like oh shit, my bad.
Oh no. There's times
on the podcast to call me out, y'all.
I'm not calling you out. This isn't calling you out. This is me just going, oh, like I'll send you a text, and a lot of times you won't text back, and then I'll write back without you texting me back. I'll just be like, I'll work on it. And then I'll just like, I'll try to like rearrange it and figure it out. And then if I can't, I just go, fuck it.
Silence is the best.
It is.
Like I said.
It's like I've never bombed over text before until I've sent you one. And you're just, there's nothing. Just leave me on red.
That is news to me, friend. I will try to be better. You know what I mean? Like I really want.
This isn't like me going.
I want to be a helpful comedian friend to the ones, because not every comic.
You always are. Do you think what about not responding isn't helpful? It's so helpful. It's like it's as helpful as bombing is, because
I always try to give you something.
We all hate to do it.
Yeah, I never tell anybody something. I never am like, yo, that's trash. I don't ever like. I always try to find my best idea of what could be better. Or I give you the compliment of saying it made me laugh. A lot of shit that you say to me makes me laugh. So, and
same with you.
But I'm also careful because look, I am one of the few, it's really just gay men in comedy who do this, but I'm one of the few men who listen to women. I may not sleep with you, but I will listen to you. You know, which I think is mostly what women want. They don't want to be fucked. They want to be heard.
Well,
okay. I won't speak for women.
You're definitely not speaking for me on that.
You can't have it all. Okay, listen, ladies, you cannot have it all right? It's either you're going to be fucked or you're going to get heard. You need to figure out which one it's going to be.
But let me tell you something. It is true that you do have to come to, at a certain point in your life, you have to go, okay, where am I willing to make some fucking compromises
here? You gotta compromise, ladies, okay? You can't have it all in 2020. None of us can, okay? Do I want to be fucked or do I want to be heard? Which one is it? Sophie's choice. Sophie had to choose too.
And listen, if you want to be fucked, all you need is a friend that listens. You can find one of those.
You better holler your opinions while you coming, sis. It's the only way you gonna get her. And that's from
oh
and that's
my
from
God.
Your, that's from your queer black ally.
How do you feel about that term?
I'm sick of
ally.
it. I'm sick of everything that has become cliche. I'm sick of buzzwords. I'm sick of every time, like, just the words that get thrown out. Right now, it's trauma. Like, I don't ever want to, like...
Trauma.
I don't ever want to tell somebody that they haven't gone through or experienced something, but the word trauma, like, anything that becomes a word that everyone now uses as their identity, to the point where it becomes bastardized, and it becomes the word for it's like woke, like all of these words that everybody eventually people start to associate it with something that it is not, and it's like, oh, that's not what that is. That's not what trauma is. That's not what
it's like the word awesome. I mean? You know what I mean? The word awesome used to be like, oh, this inspires awe, and now we use it to like describe chips. You know what I mean? Like that's that's a word to describe a sunset at Yosemite Park. Okay, I think we just found the clip. We found the clip for the episode.
You just encouraged an unforeseen spit take on my laptop. No, my laptop has been through so much. My laptop has been through so much shit. You have no idea.
God, that was beautiful. I just need you to know that was the best clip I could possibly ever hope for. I was like, maybe, I don't know if we're going to get one, but we just got it.
My gift to you and the viewers and the listeners, especially the viewers.
I love it. But going back to the word, like me and Andy were talking about this, where it just feels like, you say ally instead of just like my friend, or like or you say like, oh, this person's iconic. And it's like, no, Stevie Wonder's iconic.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Just say,
your outfit really isn't iconic.
Yeah. Cause it's just like when when a host brings up a comment and it's like, this guy's the best comedian in the whole wide world. He's been, it's like, dude, just bring me the fuck up. Like, that's the worst thing you can ever do to prop someone else up. It's performative. It's not real. It's not real. You know what I mean? It's not genuine. Yeah. It's not authentic. Just, if you are my friend and you are white, I think I'm fortunate. I've always stayed away from this because other black people don't like it when you like hoist up your white friends that like are the mean well and the do good white people that are like, oh, this white person, I got good white. But I mean, I can say it. I got good white friends. I think it's also because I have good white judgment. Like I have good judgment of white people. Like anybody that I befriend that is white, trust and believe I have observed your behavior and watched you with other people and have monitored. Now, like I've watched you and I'm like, oh, okay, that person is worthy of this black friendship. You know what I mean? Because I'm a good black friend.
That being said, if let's say, and we've had this discussion before, you've said it to me. You were like, listen, when it comes down to it, if you and a black woman get in a fight,
I told you,
I'm gonna defend the black lady. And you're and I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's not a fucking.
I will push Rosebud down into the street to get to a black woman in peril. I will do that.
Yeah.
But here's the caveat. Once I'm done attending to the black woman and making sure that she's okay, I'm gonna run back and go get Rosebud. Like, just stay down, Rosebud. Don't get up. Still be down. I'll come back.
I'm down there and I'm like, you didn't need to push me though. I just lay there. I'm like, we wait, but I wasn't in the way or anything. And
she can go left too quick. You gotta move and go. You can't really think because with a black woman, anything can happen. So it's like, whoa, hold on. Don't push his ass. You know what's going on. But Rosebud, I got you. Give me like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Stay down.
I'm going to push you down these stairs, but I'm going to be back. I'm going to push you down these stairs away from the accident that's happening over there. It totally separate.
I just need to
just
make
need
sure
to
my
do
shit
that.
is good. I just need to make sure my shit is good. I know you gonna be good. That's the thing. I got confidence in my white women. My white women, if I knock them down, they gonna be fine. They also know,
they can call the cops for help.
Make yourself useful while you're down there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You go down there, you're gonna be able to. It's fine. You're gonna be fine. You have
good.
someone to call who will help you. You know,
you have so many. Like you have so many. She needs me. She need me. She need me right now.
Yeah.
More than you ever will need me.
And I totally get it. It's like, I mean, I look at it the same way that like it's like my sisters, right? Like I'll make fun of my sisters I'll just shit on them. I'll make fun of them. But I love them. So if someone else makes fun of them or does exactly what I've been doing, I will destroy that person.
Yeah.
Because
as you should.
You can't do that. Like
you don't have the license to do that.
You don't have the love to do that. You know, it's like when like, oh God, this is funny. My sister, so I've had this conversation with you, but she's gay and she came out like last year. She started dating. It wasn't like a big like reveal. It was like she started dating a woman and now she's gay.
It hardly ever is with us, but yeah.
She
my family was like, Alex, why did you buy a blimp? We knew.
No, I mean, we were all like genuinely surprised because we were like, what?
Not for all of us. I envy those who it was a surprise for. You know what that envy is like? That jealousy in the gay community?
Yeah.
When folks come out and when it's stop the presses, what we thought.
Right.
Yo, I came out, everybody was like, oh God, okay. We've only heard your voice. We've only heard your voice for the past 19 years, Alex. Like nobody's really about to like start a second line for you. Like, okay, great.
Right. Well, when she came out, we were all just like, oh, okay, cool. But but then she was like immediately like I mean, I don't know how to say that, like so gay about it. And by that I mean like outspoken true. And was like very, you know, like now she's like going to Pride in like a full costume. And like, I was just like, all right, this is brand new and out of the blue because you've been dating literally Connors from prep school for your whole life. So it was like, what? So it almost felt like, is she just like discovering herself? You know what I mean? And it was like, it's cool. None of us cared, but it was almost like she wanted us to care. Like she wanted us to not like it or something. It was like a feeling that I got, and I can't speak for her. I don't know that that's true.
What I've always noticed. Sometimes gay people want, or queer, whatever, like when we come out, we're such drama queens that we almost want our family to not be accepting so that we can have something interesting to talk about. So like we press so hard and we do so much to us like, put me out the house. What? So I can go to Ellen, I can go to Oprah with this shit and get big. You know what I mean? Like,
and it was a little bit like that. Like
cling to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's disappointing when your family accepts you because they'd be like, damn, yo, so y'all just gonna be boring. Like it'd be cool with this shit. Like I don't have no story for nobody. I don't got no struggle now because y'all niggas ain't even gonna like threaten to like.
You're like, where's my struggle?
Nothing.
Right. We were all like, you're 25. We don't give a shit. I mean, we're not like serving pussy at Thanksgiving.
How am I gonna be a successful author with a story to tell if you motherfuckers are just okay with me sucking dick? How is that gonna work?
Right. Yeah.
I need somebody to hit me in this motherfucker, okay?
Yeah. It felt like that. And I was like, what is this like homophobia litmus test?
In fact, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm running away from home.
We were like, you have your own apartment. You're on your own lease.
So I won't say
No.
that was just the situation, because I feel like lesbians have a different approach towards, or have a different. I feel like they normally, when I'm talking to women about their experiences with coming out, I've noticed that it's either extremely similar to gay men's, because the thing with women, it's so strange how when women come out, the family almost, now I want to say ignores it, but they give it like the phase. The use of the word phase extends far longer for women than it does for men when they come out.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of girls who experimented and did the whole, oh, I'm figuring it out, but then eventually, go and like go into long-term relationships with men and have children and get married and stuff. But the same, of course, it's the double standard of like men being expected to be men and not date men. But it's like, it's really telling to me how much grace is given to women in that situation than it is to men.
Yeah,
But also,
when it's like when men, it's like the second you suck dick, you've walked through a door that doesn't open again or something. You know what I mean? Like that's the way that they treat it.
But you know what? My thought process behind it all too is just like, I and I guess this speaks to the to the podcast thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we've spoken about this before too. I feel like I'm like I've been told that by numerous friends now that I am the most homophobic friend that they have.
Have you really?
By multiple friends, like about 3 friends, I've been told that I share. Well, here's the thing: my humor could be said to be rooted in internalized homophobia, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with.
I honestly feel the same way about my own humor. Like I've been told that I'm like women's, like the worst thing to happen to feminism. And I'm like, well, you haven't met anyone.
Yeah. You haven't watched television. You haven't watched.
I'm like, you clearly have not left New York City ever.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's funnier. It's just funnier to look at our stereotyping and the way that we, those old ways of thinking, because those ways of thinking are absurd. So if you use them to make jokes, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think, I also don't think there's anything wrong with not using that and trying and like finding a way around that. And I think that's what I like about PC culture, is that it challenges you as a comic to be more intelligent with your jokes.
Sure.
But every once in a while, it's like, yeah, I'm going to tell a joke that's like, it's a little bit rooted in this, it's a little bit rooted in that, and there's something funny about that to me. Sorry.
I am someone, as much I am not beholden to my identity. You know what I mean? And you can call me a queer comic, you can call me a gay comic, you can call me a black comic, you can call me all of those things, because that is when you see it, that is who I am, sure. But I'm always going to abandon how I feel, even emotionally or on a moral level, for the funniest take on the issue, or for the thing that makes me and everybody else around me laugh. So for me, I think what's going to be what I would like to see revolutionized is, especially in queer comedy. I was having a conversation like this about with like Mateo Lane and Emma Willman. Like, I'm like, yo, what people don't know is that like my humor is rooted in the fact that when I came out, I didn't really lose any friends, Specifically, I didn't lose any like straight males, specifically, even more specifically, black straight men. The black men that I was around, I was just the gay nigga around them. And so
Yeah.
whatever example they had of gay, all jokes considered, you know, take away all of the homophobia that I have definitely heard and encountered in those spaces where I'm the only one. They still respected me because I didn't like flip out. And I think some people will probably, you know, some folks who take themselves completely seriously would look at me and be like, oh, well, you're just trying to like appease to the patriarchy and be down with the dudes. And I'm just like, okay, if that is who I am, then why is that bad? Because I'm not shouting at straight men because of some joke they made or they're being innocent. I mean, if I laugh at it, I'm kind of giving them the space.
that's where you get into this like kind of the hypocrisy of
also, how
liberalism.
how else am I gonna suck a homophobe's dick if I don't laugh at his insensitive jokes? Are you kidding me? That's how you fuck straight men. You laugh at their insensitive jokes.
You're out here on the front lines. You're getting people in.
Let's talk some real shit, Rosebud. You know, a lot of my friends know me well. You know, I'm known well in these comedy streets as being like the first gay thought that a lot of white and other non-black, whatever, comedians have ever met. And you know what? I pride myself. Yep, I've turned a couple men in my day or two. College, you know, I had some straight boys that I was so cool to realize that my acceptance and my ability to be cool around them was just a ploy to get them to do what I needed to do, and that was to get a straight dude. I don't like it. I miss. I haven't done it a lot.
Can I tell you something? Your approach to sex is every woman's approach to sex.
I am the down low man's favorite toy.
Like, no. I mean, your desire to change a man is incredibly straight woman.
There we go. That's where I relate to women. That's right.
Yeah.
I want to change that man. Me too.
That is, I mean, that's probably my biggest fetish. It's so funny.
It's only happened to me twice. I've only been able to successfully get a guy to be like, okay, maybe. To like kind of open up twice. It doesn't happen. It's very, very rare.
But that's the ultimate chase. You know, it's like that is the ultimate chase. If I can find a guy that's not that does not want a relationship, that is not interested in commitment, and I just go, you're gonna be with me, and then I can hold on to that guy specifically for 5 fucking years.
And
I fucking did it. You know what I mean?
Here's why gay men are the best men, because I did both of those occasions. I did that without any drugs, without any coercion, without any alcohol, just casual conversations and closeness.
You're just like, intimacy. There's a connection here, bitch.
I already know. I know it when I see it. I know dick I can get when I see it. And I always do. Always do. So if any of the guys, any of you fellas out there in Rosebud land.
Yeah.
I see you.
They already knew you were pitching yourself this entire time. They were
Every time I go on podcasts, I'm just like, yo, what is your male constituency looking like? Okay.
I'm actually about 60-40. I'm like
perfect
60%.
So am I. Yeah.
And I would say mostly, it's so funny because I've said this on the last episode, but my fan base is like young white women and majority young white women, and then older black guys.
Okay, you forget I know this because I've opened for you. So I've seen your fan base.
Yeah, but that was in DC. That was like pretty much all white
Boston.
Oh, Boston. Right.
So I know 60% of your fan base. The other 40, I have.
That was when we took a fucking Uber from Boston back to New York.
Yo, we took an Uber and like that was the best. That was the best. Remember, he took a pit stop to that gas station / Dunkin' Donuts, and we got coffee on the way.
Yeah, I remember asking him like if he was running from something. Yeah, I was like, are you running from anything? Is there trouble at home? Like, why are you willing to do this? And he was just like, he didn't want to talk to us. He was like, mind your own business, lady. And I was like, fair enough.
The best driver for what, like a 4-hour drive?
4-hour drive. We got back to New York City at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, he pulled up to what was it, Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, crazy. That was a fucking crazy trip.
Because we were just like, we just did not feel like getting on the bus, and you
I
had
was
already
like,
bought the bus ticket. Yeah, we were like, all right, well,
I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'll
you
spend
made the
this
executive
entire
decision.
paycheck to get home right now. And
You
that was
made
pretty
the,
much the whole paycheck. Like it was like done.
but it was worth it. Great shows.
100%. Worth it. 100%. Wish I'd recorded it because, you know, it would be the only footage of comedy that I had left to subtitle and post on Instagram. But listen, so I wanted to ask you real quick what your take on the Kanye situation is.
I'm actually glad you asked me this because I was just thinking about this earlier this morning when I was reading more about him and this shit. Okay, so first of all, I found out that he announced, so he tweeted that he was running for president. And then today, I think they were reporting that there was there has been no official paperwork done for a campaign or any type of like political action committees created. So he's just saying this. And I'm just like, this further drives the point I've always had and the position I will continue to have on Kanye, where it's like, he is so good at getting people stirred up over nothing. He like Kanye.
He really is Trump. He's a lot like Trump.
He is a lot like him in that, but in the same way, I feel like people need to, and it's not just Kanye. Kanye is definitely a representative of this thing where I'm like, I'm not saying anything new when I say this, because Dave Chappelle just said it again, and he's been saying it. Stop attaching and projecting your shit on people you don't know. You know this celebrity for what he does and what he or she or whoever, you know what they do. Stop projecting or putting your personal shit on other people. He is still an individual. Kanye has no political power. He's not signing laws. He's not on the Senate floor trying to pass bills. He's not, sure, he has influence on the mainstream with the shit that he does in music, and he can influence people to think and do whatever for him. But I think generally speaking, the way I've always consumed Kanye, I've consumed Kanye for his art, his music, what he puts out. I enjoy Kanye for that. Other than that, I'm not, the minute he goes off talking about anything related to his views, I'll read it, I'll consume it, but I'm not taking it to heart. I'm not making it affect how I feel about him. I'm not making it, because like,
remember when he came out, when he said the shit about slavery being a choice, and it was like nobody ever said anything about him being like just in a mental institution. It was like, why?
Like, I think you have to consider Kanye for everything you know about Kanye, and then listen to what he says and be like, oh, okay, yeah, of course he did and said that thing.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go off and be angry at him, because the thing is, the people, they fall for it every time because they give him the attention. Oh, I see tweets all the time. Oh, Kanye did something again. I'm just not gonna acknowledge it. Well, you are. You are. Because you've seen it, you've read it, probably you've seen people, and you're acknowledging it by giving it another tweet, another Facebook post, another Instagram story, whatever, and you're feeding into how I deal with whatever Kanye or whoever. It's not even just Kanye. Anybody that I like you because of what you've given me in the past and your art, and it speaks to me, and I like it and I enjoy it. I consume that. I don't consume you for your political shit or I just don't. So I don't. So the minute I don't give you that power, I'm able to come. Now, as I always say, Kanye, the second Kanye, I hear Kanye is molesting somebody or has killed somebody or has harmed another individual, he's being homophobic or what the fuck ever. I don't like. Then you'll give me something to be like, well, man, I don't know how I feel about giving this motherfucker my money or supporting anything he does. That type of shit, once you get in the way of others' rights, but as far as I know, he's never done that. So I'm gonna let him say whatever he wants. People forget that this is a country built off of the belief that we all can say whatever the fuck we want.
I know.
So
And it's so funny too, because I look at it and I go like, Kanye is, you know, if let's say this, if something came out about Kanye where he had like something like where somebody was victimized by Kanye in some way, right? And I heard about this, and let's say I'm sitting in my car alone, right?
yeah.
And what's that fucking song called? Where I put my hand on a stove. What's that song? I put my hand on the stove. You know that song?
Okay, all right, vocals.
What's
I
it
don't know that
called?
song. I don't know that song, but I love the way you just sang it.
Ghost Town. I think it's
Oh,
Ghost
okay.
Town. Anyway, so fucking good. And let's say I'm sitting in the car and that song comes on, and I've just heard that Kanye did some shit where it's like I shouldn't be giving him my money. I'm still not turning the song off.
Okay.
Like I'm listening to the fucking song. I'm not somebody that it's like, you know, the fucking Michael Jackson's documentary came out years after the man's dead. And we're all just like, no more. And it's like, we knew this the whole fucking time, you guys. The whole fucking time. He was here.
Yeah.
He was here and we didn't get it. So it's like, what? What are we?
But I'm like,
how are you going to cancel somebody who's already dead?
Who's already dead. I mean, it's been taken care of. He's been canceled.
He's canceled.
Literally, he's canceled literally. I don't know what more you want from Michael Jackson.
And also, even now, it's like in COVID times, it's like we're all canceled. None of us are working. But we're still trying to cancel each other. But it's like, well, what is there left to cancel?
What is there left to do? But you know what, Rosebud, I'm also just like, and I think this stems from a comedian's, like anybody to me who I respect, who does comedy, like I'm able to still find funny someone that I don't agree with. I can still do that.
Yeah.
I can still, if I don't agree, there are comics I've met and I'm like, yo, he's probably racist, but that shit's fun. That thing he said was funny. So right. I'm not like, I can't, like, I've always said this. I'm like, yo, if what you said was insensitive, it probably is. But if it made me laugh personally, if it made me, and I'm somebody,
it's supposed to offend, then it's funny.
Then I can't sit up here and be like, oh, that made me mad as a da-da-da-da-da-da or whatever, insert identity here. If I was laughing, then, oh well. But also, there's the other thing. If I don't find something funny and I don't agree with it, if I see others enjoying it, I'm okay with being like, well, they found it funny, so I guess they found it funny. Like, well, you can't tell people what to and what not to laugh at. I hate right now that, like, I hate any overly preachy anything on any side of the argument. You know what I mean? I hate when people get clean. When people cling to, and we've talked about this a lot at length, of course, outside of the podcast or whatever, but like people cling to their identities and cling to the things that they are cavalier about.
They're like, this is precious to me. This is so precious to me. And listen, I mean,
some comedy fans are like bad bottoms. Like,
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, so I'll go into detail. I'll help you. I'll help you on this one. You'll understand it. So, okay. So a good bottom. Let me tell you about a good bottom. A good bottom knows how to get that ass in the right position so that you can appropriately stroke in the work, and that ass just claps. It don't have to be a big ass. This can vary from any and all asses, but you clap. A good bottom knows how to loosen this shit up, don't tense, let go, back up, and just make that shit clap, ride it, and be here for the ride, and that's some good fucking sex.
So
a bad bottom, which is what some comedy,
So any straight men who have a Six Flags subscription, you've already passed the first level of Alex's gay training camp.
You're already a great bottom. Now, if you're now bad comedy viewers to me, ones who want to be pandered to, ones who want to hear who those instead of actual laughter, you're a bad bottom because you want the top to just like try to do with the bad. With this is a good bottom, okay? This is a good bottom. The arch is I'm showing off. I'm showing off now. Look, this is a good bottom. Now, Rosebud, this is a bad bottom. This is the difference. You want to see the difference?
You guys,
Bad
you guys
bottom,
are listening to this, but I need you to
good
know that
bottom.
Alex is
Bad bottom.
cat cowing in front of the screen.
Bad
Good.
bottom.
All right.
Good bottom. You got to arch the back. So I say to all of you comedy fans who you sit in the audience and instead of laughing, you woo! You are bad. You should be
You
laughing.
just blew your own mic out doing an act.
Because
all right.
Remember when I saw you though? And no,
Can
and
you
I got off stage.
can you let me? I got it.
I'm sorry.
Let me
I can take
segue.
over. I don't
Let
wanna
me
take over.
segue. Let me
sorry.
segue. You just gave the good advice. Now we're gonna give some bad advice. All right. We have two. Good fucking Christ. All right. We have two options here. There's one from a woman who is about to get hitched. She wants elopement advice. And then this one says, bad situation needs some bad advice. I'm going to go with this just because bad situation seems fun. We'll save the other one. But we will get to that in the next episode. Okay, so since quarantine started, I've had 3 ex-boyfriends reach out to me from the crypt they've been existing in. If you had to pick one for me to date again, who would it be? Bachelor number 1 didn't actually reach out.
I respect the honesty. I respect that honesty. That's right. She could have made up anything she wanted. She wanted, but she was like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Didn't actually reach out. No, this gets so much worse. But I got a call from his boss / the police, ACAB, who were trying to get his address so they could do a wellness check on him. He's apparently pretty mentally unstable, and they assumed he committed suicide. He's alive. Okay. Bachelor number 2.
Okay.
Murdered his healthy pet cat and lied to me about it for a month before I pieced it together. Thank you, true crime.
Yo, she was dating that I don't fuck with cats dude.
Oh my God. He wanted to let me know he was here to protect me during quarantine.
Oh my God.
Bachelor number 3. Great person, so sweet, loved me so much. Wasn't great at fucking, but it's been 5 years. God damn it. What the fuck? What is it? Why?
Well, you see, yeah.
You know, it's always
the ones that didn't physically harm you that were terrible in bed. You know, that stereotype ain't going no motherfucking where.
It's not. It's really not. It won't.
Oh,
you know why? Because these guys, they won't do it.
The cat killer gets top billing over the one who doesn't fuck you well.
Yeah, I would go with the cat murderer.
At least the cat murderer is killing pussy. You know what I mean?
I can't. That's it. That's all we need to say. That's perfect.
Because fuck cops.
If he's willing to murder one pussy, he can murder another, and that's what we're asking for. And we don't want to give.
I wish that cop the best mental health that they can find. I really hope that they can recover since they are still alive.
This is how we defund the police on a personal level.
But the pussy killer deserves a nude or two.
I mean, he's the pussy killer.
He's the pussy killer.
So he gets it.
He already let you know in his actions what he's about.
Exactly.
What else does he need to say?
Yeah, and you don't want to go for you don't want to go for the guy who's about to kill himself because it's like you don't have a nursing degree, and you're not trying to earn one at home.
Yeah,
caring for your fucked up man.
Door number 2, friend. Door number 2.
100%. God, that was a great listen. If you guys, listeners, if you're wondering how to put together a bad advice question, this woman just fucking killed it. I don't know
murdered
who
it,
this
yeah.
listener is. I don't want to like shout them out without them saying if it's okay. But that is how you ask me for some fucking bad advice. That was beautiful. God, brilliant. Okay, well, this has been way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I mean, well, I knew it was going to be fun, but I wasn't in the mood.
Time always flies when we talk, Rosebud. Time always.
True.
I don't know where it goes when we get.
And we have so many fucking clips. I'm just going to put out a bunch of clips of this weekend. I mean, it's like this was a great fucking episode. So you guys, Alex, where can they find you?
I mean, I am all over Rosebud's Instagram. We are always constantly communicating. If you've seen her, you've definitely seen me in her comments. Yeah. Everything social media, Twitter and Facebook for the most part, is Alex English. The E that spells English is numerical. It is the number 3. So it's very simple.
So Alex Thringlish is how
Alex Thringlish. That's true. That's true. Yeah. So I'm there. I need to repurchase my website because I guess the domain like expired. So there's no website right now.
Okay, way to call yourself out.
I forgot. That's putting a mental note in my head. So like, oh yeah, I gotta buy my website back. But yeah, but as of now, if you really need me, that is the internet.
If you really need him, you can just buy his domain, you guys.
You can buy my domain, yep, and sell it to me for $50,000.
Yeah. And then you guys, you can find me at Rosebud Baker. You can find the podcast at Devil's Advocate pod.atc on Instagram. You can write to me for some bad advice like this listener did. You fucking knocked it out of the park.
Excellent.
At Devil's Advocate pod.atc at gmail.com. But the email is also in my Instagram handle. So you guys, thank you for listening. This has been amazing. Also, I'm going to be doing an hour of stand-up on Zoom on July 17th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I haven't figured out the details of that yet. I'm like trying to figure out whether or not, I mean, we reached 100 people already, so I don't know if I can let the others in or if I could just set up another time to do it. I may set up a second show. But keep an eye out and keep your ears open for details about that.
Some people can't even get 100 people into a physical room, let alone Zoom. So hats off to you.
I definitely can't get 100 people in a physical room. So Zoom seems pretty.
I don't know about that, but you definitely got them in a Zoom. So there you go. This is you know what I mean? Look at me again, flipping the narrative.
Yep. God damn. It's almost like it's not fair because I'm a white woman who's got just the world on her side, and I'm depending on you, a gay black man, to cheer me up. It's actually, if no one else was seeing the irony in this situation.
I'm all about encouraging my friends. You can be down, but don't you dare stay down.
That's right. I actually feel the same fucking way. It's like if people call me up and they have a problem, I'm like, here's the fucking solution.
You gotta get a solution.
Here's the truth. Yeah. What you feel isn't real. Yeah. And things are pretty good.
You can cry, take as much time as you need to cry and be sad about whatever you need to be sad about, but eventually you're gonna have to get over that shit and move on. You got to.
Precisely.
Otherwise it's gonna be bad. You gotta get up. Get up, friend.
Everybody get up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alex. You were the best guest. Thank you guys for listening. Friend. I love you too. Thank you. Hold on.